It's just interesting. The stories that we have here, Fox News doesn't even want to talk about at all whatsoever. They're talking about is Trumpy foreign policy. Did you know right now? Um, I watched Outnumbered this morning, and the talking legs, and that's what I call it, the Outnumbered talking legs on Fox News. They're talking about Donald Trump and how he's going to negotiate with terrorists. Henry Kissinger said, he actually worked for the under Richard Nixon, and we had him on a few years back, and he told us you cannot negotiate with terrorists. If you do, you have failed foreign policy. He told us this, and now here's Donald Trump saying that we have to negotiate with terrorists. We have to make a deal with them to understand what their needs are. How stupid and ironic is this? Obama did this. It hasn't worked. You have Hillary Clinton do this. It hasn't worked. We have had Slick Willie. We had under the Clinton administration do this. It never worked. We have had who else was it? Jimmy Carter tried doing that. It didn't work. It's just outrageous. The stupidity in this country, and it's so frustrating right now that we have to expose it, and we as a nation, you have to be united under God. And here's the thing too. Last night, Ted Cruz is not is has uh, he has spent his campaign. However, did you know since he did that last night Ted Cruz won Idaho. He's back in again, by the way. He's back in again. He's got the delegates now. Donald Trump does not have 1,250 delegates that he needs because he lost that drive. And California is actually looking to Ted Cruz's favor, even though he has suspended his campaign. But he's still out there doing town hall meetings. This is what Ted Cruz is doing, by the way, and is not even getting an ounce of press coverage whatsoever. Not even 1 ounce of press coverage whatsoever. It's unbelievable. It really is something. It's why are they hiding this? What's the deal with the news media trying to hide what journalism is now? Why are they trying to depress the news? Why are they doing this? That's my question. And why do we have to expose it? And we want to mention that is sponsored by we what is it? We united under God. I try to remember what we the state. That's right. The people of the state. That's what it is. So you can find that book on Amazon.com. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Robert. Tell me, what is your opinion of all of this? What's your observation? Go ahead and tell me that. Go ahead. From what we have reported, and what we're telling you. What do you make of all of this?
Well, the biggest thing I think is that the government is running out of control.
Yeah.
They need to start looking to the people for votes. People used to vote on a lot of things.
I know.
We don't have the voting power anymore.
No.
It just seems like if a new school comes in, yeah, we vote on that. Mm-hmm. But then even if the people voted out, they go ahead and build it anyways.
Yeah, is something?
The problem is, with this situation, is there's no checks and balances. Mm-hmm. And when it gets to that point and nobody's going to listen to the people, that's when the people start wanting to do protests, and they want to start making things more out in the open, and that's where we're headed for a revolution. I don't want to see something like that happen. This country's gotten too much out of control. It's always about these politicians and corporations. I was just watching a news reporter who went into a motel, and they showed how these politicians politicians in Georgia were working with corporations, and they were making laws right there in the motel. They were fattening up these fat cow politicians so that these corporations could get their way. One big thing was that was really shown out is there was asbestos from a company, and the law was passed where they weren't allowed to sue the company and make them responsible. You know, this is crazy. This country has gone out of hand. I have to commend the reporter, though, because when he went in there and he tried to expose this, they said, well, you're going to have to leave. And he says, well, I'm staying here at this motel. It seemed like this reporter had really covered all of his grounds. And the sheriff's department was hired. They hired 5 goons from the sheriff's department that were off duty but still in uniform, privately funded. And they told this guy, well, you won't be staying here long. We'll make sure that you leave. Now, this is not what this country is about. And the media used to protect this country. It used to expose to the people what's going on in this country, because a lot of people don't. Back in the day, and I don't know how far you want to go back, but, you know, in the 30s, 40s, newspapers used to be a really big thing. Then it came into TV, and people believed the news, Walter Cronkite, for example, as gospel. And the news has changed. So now people still think the news is gospel when really they have an agenda. The corporations have bought out these newspaper companies and these TV stations, and they've regulated or controlled what the public knows. And this is creating a really big problem.
You know, it's a great book, by the way. You know, it's a great book to read right now. What's happening with all this nonsense? It's called Atlas Shrugged by Ray Ann. And she actually wrote this book during the 40s and 50s. And I'm telling you, people need to go back and read Ayn Rand. I'm actually reading it right now. And it's just it's amazing what's happening in this country, because it's exactly the rebellion of Russia, how the Russian Revolution came out. What was a purpose of the revolution? How did the Russian Revolution come back from a sub nation into a super nation, into the super powerhouse of what it is right now, with getting nuclear weapons. And now here's the biggest thing that we have Putin, who wants to get sanctions to a nuclear deal to Iran. I mean, they're working on a trade deal for nuclear weapons right now. Iran and Russia right now on nuclear weapon trade deal. So where's the U.S. on this issue? I don't understand this. I mean, it's like, hello. It's like, you know, it's like lights are on, nobody's home. You know, I was like. It's right there on our doorstep, but nothing's being done about it.
Well, there's nothing good that comes out of nuclear weaponry. I know that they have nuclear medicine, and I don't even know if that's good for people, but it's a step in the direction to try to cure people. A lot of the problem with this country is it's driven on money. Presidents used to go into office, and when they'd leave, they'd be $20,000, $30,000 in debt. Now presidents go into office, and when they leave, they're $40, $50 million in surplus. The green.
Yeah, in surplus. Yeah.
And it's a money-driven situation, and anytime you have money driving something, nothing good is going to come out of it, right, because the higher bidder wins.
Right.
No matter what the consequences are.
Right.
And the problem with society today is that corporations are running this country. The government is nothing anymore. Corporations are running this country. The government is hiring corporations to do things Like, for example,